You're listening to the Telltale Channel. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, don't forget to check out my Patreon. I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon. I just created a new website, firesidewatch.com. You can watch videos with friends, and everybody can play or pause the video. I made it so I could collaborate with other YouTubers, but I figured I might as well make it available to everybody. On top of that, you can add videos to the queue, upvote them, and sort by most upvoted. Give it a look, firesidewatch.com. I was just talking about this girl. She's a MAGA influencer, and she believes that UFOs are actually demons, like aliens are demons. So I wanted to kind of go through like some of the, kind of trace the history of the UFOs are demons belief. Check this out.
Election. Did we go to the moon? No. Are they telling us the truth about Antarctica? No. Are aliens real? Yes, but they're demons.
Anyway, I wanted to trace this down. So I go through my program to find instances of this, and I find Kent Hovind talking about it. Let's give this a listen.
What about UFOs? Don't know. There are several theories about UFOs. I'll give you a couple books so you can read about that. I don't have an answer to the question. New Leaf Press has a good book called UFO End Time Delusion by David Allen Lewis. There's a shortened version of the same book, a Reader's Digest version.
There you go. 666. He believes they're demons. This is from Kent Hovind.
UFO 666. Alien Encounters by Chuck Missler again. Covers a lot on UFOs. The Cosmic Conspiracy by Stan Deyo is a good one for UFOs.
Dude, I should get these books.
You should.
UFO sightings may fit into the following categories. They might be just simply misidentified natural objects like weather balloons, swamp gas, etc. They could be top secret or private experiments. There's Popular Mechanics from November 2000 showing an experiment with the U.S. government planning to build what would sure look like a UFO to somebody if they saw it.
So UFOs are actually either a government conspiracy or demons, is what I'm picking up.
It may be satanic or demonic.
There you go.
Satan can only be one place at a time. God is all places at all times.
Why?
And most...
It's a stupid lore. Who knows what ridiculous verse they conjured up for this.
Because Satan was an angel, and angels aren't as powerful as God, except Satan started to get as powerful as God and was asking too many questions and blah, 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 so God had to cast him down.
There you go. You should be a theologian.
So the authors I shared with you earlier fall into the category of saying that there are two kinds of UFOs, top secret government stuff and demonic.
So stupid, dude. There's another category of UFO believer who believe it's called, oh my God, I don't remember the name of this group, but they believe that Nazis escaped Germany at the end of World War II and went to Antarctica and run a surveillance program, and their surveillance drones are UFOs. So when we see UFOs in the sky, it's actually Nazis that escaped justice and are trying to spy on their enemy until they grow powerful enough to make a comeback or whatever.
So, one, I have a few questions here. One, are Nazis immortal in that case? And two, did we not have UFOs before 1940 Germany? Or
not really. The designs were around, but they were really, really popularized in 1947, 48, in the Roswell, New Mexico thing, which is basically just a weather balloon. They were watching for nuclear tests from the Soviet Union, and they wanted to cover that up and hide it from the populace. Anyway, so that's Kent Hovind's whole bit on UFOs. Let me just see if there's anywhere else that he mentions it. See, yeah, that's the whole section. But there are other people who talk about UFOs, as a matter of fact. I've got another video on this. Here's one. All right, this is Kat Kerr on UFOs.
There are no aliens, people. That might crush your hopes for a new planet to live on. But there are demons that live on some of the vacant planets or planets nobody knows anything about. They try to take over it.
Okay, but a lack of aliens doesn't mean a lack of planets that you can live on. What's it called? Habitable?
Habitable planets, yeah. What about them?
A lack of aliens does not equal a lack of habitable planets, like she's saying. And in addition to that, if there are demons living on the vacant planets that we know nothing about, they must be habitable, at least when you get into heaven. Also, on top of that, why don't I have my own planet in heaven? If I have my own mansion, to her.
Mormons believe in that.
I know.
You could be a Mormon.
All right, guys, I'm a Mormon
your calling.
now.
Yeah.
However, the Father always sends, this is something you have not talked about, The Father has an army. We know that in heaven. Some of them who've done major warfare has been outside the realm of the world called heaven, and they will
The world called heaven.
go by and cleanse these planets all the time that Satan is trying to take over and do things on, or convince people that there were aliens and we're going to welcome you here.
Yes.
If you are asked by any being that's not a human being, you test that spirit. If a spirit comes and walks through your wall and said, "Oh, I'm here to take you to great places. I want to show you something new Jesus is doing, so come with me."
She thinks that's what aliens would be saying to us if they appeared. I want to show you something about Jesus. It's so stupid, dude.
Okay, but like, what if it's actually an angel? Like, I don't think angels take too kindly to being accused of lying. So an angel comes down from the heavens and is like, guys, Jesus, right up there. You just got to come with me. And I'm going to go, but are you Satan?
You don't want to turn the angel into a demon out of spite.
Yeah, they're going to get mad at me. What do I do when they get mad at me?
This is Jack Hibbs, complete scumbag, has some takes on aliens as well.
Sorry, someone asked if you're going to make ClipChimp available to them.
Yes, I am going to try to make it available on the Microsoft Store, on the App Store, and stuff like that.
So you would normally think, UFOs, I knew it from other planets, all this stuff, wow.
It's because at this moment, there was a lot of talk of UFOs at the time.
Fox Mulder was right, X-Files, yes. George Jetson, I get it.
No, oh, he's so funny, OMG. Oh, ROFMLMAO. He is so incredibly funny.
And
you can hear all the old people in the audience laughing. That's how you know he's funny.
Gotta praise him now. He's hilarious. I have to bow down to him. Have no other option.
And yet I think that what is truly behind all this stuff is what has been truly behind everything. For the record, I do not believe in creatures from other worlds. I do not believe in other planets.
They believe in you.
Sorry, it said, that's funny. It said, I don't believe in other planets. And I know what he meant. I know he meant I don't believe there are other planets with life on them.
Don't give him too much credit.
But like, yeah, I don't believe in other planets, guys. I don't know. I don't think Mars is really up there.
So incredibly stupid.
Pluto? There's a reason they said it's not a planet anymore.
In all seriousness, the last girl that we listened to said she doesn't know why we can't go to Antarctica, signaling she thinks there's a flat Earth.
Yeah, if there's a flat Earth, are there flat planets? Are the planets a projection? Like, what do they think there? Like, the planets are a hologram? I think that would be really cool.
They think, in all seriousness, they believe that it's a big canopy that, do you ever do the tent thing where in school where they have the big tent and they throw it up and they all sit around it?
Yeah, and you go under it?
Yeah, they think it's like that and they've just poked holes in the firmament and you can see God's light through the firmament. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's... Okay,
creative. It's creative, I suppose.
Yeah, it's more creative than what I thought that they were going to go with. They poked holes in it, and that's God's light, but it would deflate.
Nope, because God doesn't let it deflate, you see.
I believe in these creatures are visiting us from other places. I believe it's demonic, demons, fallen angels, because you have no idea, nor do I, what a fallen angel is.
Well...
You don't know what they can produce.
I mean... A fallen angel is an angel that fell.
I'm not sure what he means by that. That's confusing.
He's basically saying we don't know what they're capable of. We don't know if they're as capable as an angel. I assume he's saying we don't know if they're as capable as God, but that would be blasphemy. I think a fallen angel, imagine what an angel can do. A fallen angel can probably do that and or less, because if they're just angels that are evil now.
Well, in this case, he thinks that that's what aliens are. They're fallen angels.
Yeah, but it's still like an alien's gonna come down here, it'll have the same powers as an angel would, right?
I suppose.
Theoretically.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
You don't know what they can create? Well, Jack, we have UFO materials that have been collected from crash sites.
Okay.
No, we didn't. He fell for the lies. Like, there's a lot of rumor and speculation flying all over the place, and I knew that we should be wary about believing that, and he just, ate it up hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, he's about to tell us that, it's irrelevant because of whatever, but like even if that was real, like okay, there are metal scraps somewhere in a desert. Coolsies, like stuff falls all the time.
The claim was that there is biological material recovered from a UFO. They said they found an alien is the claim, and
they found an alien.
That was the claim from a guy who was testifying in front of Congress.
Oh,
yes,
that's rough.
But it wasn't actually like vetted or trustworthy, and nobody had any actual evidence of anything. It just wasn't.
Did he like have a mental issue or anything? Because if not, he's going to jail for like the rest of his life. He's out of here.
They don't actually prosecute like that usually, but no, he claimed, I think he was ex-military or ex something or other. He was in the Air Force for like 20 years or something, and he said that when he was in that he had biological material or something like that. But
anyways.
I understand that. That has been scientifically tested.
No, it wasn't.
I just believe the origin is an act of deception by Satan to get people duped.
And you know, when you really think about it and look at this in the cold light of day, like what reason would they have to point the finger at demons instead of just saying, wow, God created aliens as well? When you think about it, you start to connect the dots and realize it's because aliens would throw a wrench into literally everything. Aliens would not have a copy of the Bible, certainly. And if they did, how would they even fit into that equation? It was written specifically and intentionally for and about humans. They have to claim aliens are demons because there's no other way to fit them into their theology. It's impossible. That's why we see this kind of thing.
You could say that like aliens are a failed batch of humans where God, I mean, I guess that's kind of what demons are, but like...
Well, humans are a failed batch of humans, right? That's why we have sin and everything else?
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like God let them run rampant and they could use this in their favor. Like, this is what happens when you don't listen to the Bible, and this is why we're trying to save you and protect you, because these aliens, they have no human-like qualities. They're no longer part of humanity like we are. You know, I just feel like there are better, more creative ways than they're demons. I
feel like this is the most straightforward, simple route that they can take to handle the possibility that aliens come. They could create a complex explanation like God created them and did all this other stuff and this is where they came from and everything. But that's complicating everything. And they want to give a short, straightforward, basic message. They're demons. And I find it interesting that they've decided to address it in the first place, because that means that Jack Hibbs, Kat Kerr, and others think there's a real distinct possibility that maybe aliens might appear, that we might actually find evidence for it. They wouldn't bother addressing it if they thought that it wouldn't happen in the first place.
Like
I think that's interesting.
In their lifetime.
Yeah.
I think aliens probably exist because there are like 1 billion galaxies.
I would eat my left shoe if I found out that aliens do not exist.
I'm sure somewhere far, far, far away, like billions of light years away, there are aliens, but they're not demons. They're not going to visit us. They're not going to find us in our lifetime. Like, I don't know, all of that's crazy. And also,
I don't know, I can see them finding us in our lifetimes.
In our
I
lifetime?
can see that. Yeah, sure. I can see that.
I don't think I'm going to live to see the day where an alien like makes it to Earth.
I think it could happen anytime. Just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Patreon. If you're not going to donate, you don't have to, but follow me there at the very least. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. Just in case something happens with the government or whatever. It would be really good if you had some way to connect with me and my content. I'm really concerned about that. And maybe you should consider that for other creators too.
But I also think they would be so biologically different from us. Like visually, their language would be different. They might not even be able to speak. They might be like a bird or like a cat. That not be able to speak to us. I mean,
if they were capable of making it to us, I think that they would absolutely for sure have a language of some sort.
Well, yeah, but not one that we would be able to understand, almost certainly. Like cats understand each other, birds can understand each other, and like they make noises, but they can't. Most birds can't. We can't understand most birds, and I don't think that there's a way for us to understand them. And I also think like when a lot of people picture aliens, they're like bald and green, and but they're still like they still have 2 arms, 2 legs, they walk upright. Humans uniquely evolved like that. I don't think that an alien is going to, or like has evolved to stand upright like that, or only have 2 arms and 2 legs, or like be green even, or have.
I think you'd be surprised. I think that, as Emily Sigmund says, how are religious extremists dealing with NASA having found evidence of ancient microbes on Mars? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard. That's why
I think they're going with the old they're demons, and this is a grand deception thing. They're just getting a jump on it early, so they don't have to explain any of this. They can go with a simple, straightforward message of Satan's trying to deceive us. And I think that you'd be surprised by how similarly life evolves over time. Like, we made some major breakthroughs with abiogenesis over the past couple of years, 2023, 24. And what we've discovered with it is life didn't just start here in this configuration randomly. It took millions, nay, billions of years to finally take root in the configuration that works best. So I suspect if we did find aliens, they would probably look very similar to us, actually. Like symmetry, like we have 2, hands, our face is symmetrical. We would probably, if I had to guess, I'd say they'd probably be symmetrical. We would also, if I had to guess, probably be carbon-based, just like we are. They'd be eukaryotic and all the way up the chain. It would be very similar, in my personal opinion.
Do you think they'd be like the Doctor?
The Doctor?
Doctor Who?
I don't understand.
From Doctor Who.
Anyway, yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comments. It's fascinating to see them kind of flounder and come up with ridiculous excuses. Tell me your thoughts.
We'll be right back. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com.
I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon.
I just created a new website, firesidewatch.com. You can watch videos with friends, and everybody can play or pause the video. I made it so I could collaborate with other YouTubers, but I figured I might as well make it available to everybody. On top of that, you can add videos to the queue, upvote them, and sort by most upvoted. Give it a look, firesidewatch.com.
So somebody told me about this video, this Kirk Cameron video. It's apparently a series that I had not heard of before, but it's from like the 2000s, I think. And I guess it's shown to like a bunch of kids in churches and stuff to try to scare the bejesus out of them. So I want to listen to it and see what Kirk Cameron had to say, what message he felt was important for children to know. He's bound to be psychotic. This is around Christmas time when this is being filmed, so I'm not covering current events as much at this immediate moment because, everyone is kind of preoccupied with Christmas. So let's just see what he has to say here. Majestic music.
An experienced firefighter was recently charged with grave neglect of duty. Prosecutors maintained that he had abandoned his responsibility when he failed to release rescue equipment. This resulted in the needless and tragic deaths of a family of 5.
Now, I have to wonder, who does Kirk Cameron support in the Uvalde, Texas attack? Do you guys remember that a while back? Uvalde, Texas, there was an attack on a school, and the cops just literally stood out there for like ever and did nothing to help anybody while people inside were slaughtered mercilessly. And the Republicans took the side of the police, and the left took the side of logic and reason, said that's disgusting. I have to wonder who he sided with in that situation. I'm sure we all know.
Eyewitnesses were sickened when they discovered that the reason the firefighter remained locked in the emergency vehicle was simply because he was testing a new high-tech CD player which he maintained he had bought as a gift for the fire chief.
Okay, I thought he was going to say he was locked in his car praying or some stupid thing.
The fire chief immediately distanced himself from the defendant, and he dishonorably discharged him from the department. In a prepared statement, the chief said, quote, "There are no words to describe such a betrayal of those he was sworn to protect." The lead prosecuting attorney argued that for more than 3 minutes after arriving on the scene, the firefighter wore earphones and listened to a CD while a family of 5 was screaming to be rescued from the 6th floor of a burning building.
Okay, what's the point here? This is shown to children in churches.
Horrified onlookers related that as flames licked her clothing, a mother cried out in terror and fell to her death while still clutching an infant in her arms. Other witnesses...
This is very obviously fear-mongering, trying to emotionally grip you right now. Like, is this even a real scenario? I don't know. I'm not convinced.
He's using language like, as the flames licked her skin, and it was so like heartbreaking to play on your emotions there.
Yeah, it's all playing on emotions. That's what it's about here.
Said that the father was clutching 2 terrified children as he was engulfed by the massive flames.
Yeah, this is all emotional propaganda. I don't even know if this is a real scenario.
This terrifying drama took place in full view of the firefighter as he remained seated in the vehicle, listening to the CD. The defense pleaded no contest, but added that the defendant went to great personal sacrifice to purchase the expensive gift for the chief, and hoped that the judge would take that into consideration.
Oh, please.
As he passed sentence. What do you think is a fitting punishment for this serious crime? 2 years in prison? 20 years? A life sentence?
Well, interestingly, if he hadn't been on the force, he would have no obligation to render aid. You cannot be compelled to help somebody. It's called the Good Samaritan law or whatever, but it's not what Seinfeld portrayed it to be years ago. In the TV show Seinfeld, they portrayed them standing there and watching, like, as somebody gets mugged and they did nothing, and they get, like, charged with a crime for not doing anything. You can't be compelled to act on someone else's behalf legally in the United States. But he was on the force, so it may be a little bit different. I'm not actually sure. Like with the cops should absolutely be obligated to do something to save people's lives. That's what they're being paid for. That's what they're there for. But even a fire department's a little bit different, right? Because they're not being paid for that. They're volunteers. So I don't know what the legal requirement or whatever would be. What?
I was going to say, are all firefighters volunteers?
Yes, all firefighters are volunteers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think that there's a hierarchy and they can be paid and stuff, but I'm not exactly sure how it works.
Why would anyone want to be a firefighter when they grow up? You get no money that way, do you?
I don't know.
Unless
Let's
you're in
find
the
no need to
hierarchy.
wonder. Just loaded up our question gun. Let's go answer hunting.
People are concerned that your chair's on fire.
I saw that. Let's find out. Are
Someone-
all firefighters volunteers? Do they not get paid?
Someone told me to iron my pride flag. Guys, it's not straight for a reason.
There you go. Also, that type of material looks more wrinkled than it actually is on camera. I don't think it's that wrinkled.
Have we loaded up our question?
Not all firefighters are volunteers. It varies quite a bit depending on location. In the U.S., there's actually a mix. There are career paid firefighters, typically staff departments in larger cities and urban areas where call volumes are high enough to justify full-time positions. These are salaried professionals who often work shifts like 24 on, 48 off. That's awful. Oh my God. Volunteer firefighters are more common in rural areas and smaller communities that don't have the tax base or call volume to support a full-time paid department. So it depends on the jurisdiction, but many are. And our local one is volunteer.
The one in West Virginia was volunteer then?
Yeah, I believe it was, yes.
Okay. Wow, I'm realizing every single firefighter I've ever met was not paid. That's crazy.
It depends. I think some of them are paid, even in volunteer ones, like the manager. I think like hierarchically, like I think the manager of the department is probably paid and stuff, but most of the firefighters are not. Anyway, let's continue.
Capital punishment? You be the
capital punishment, dude. Oh my God.
judge. Please choose an answer because we're going to tell you more about this story later in the program.
if a guy sat there and watched as a family burned to death, assuming that this is in fact an honest representation of the facts, which I doubt, if he were representing the facts accurately, I would lean toward 5 years at least. I guess it would depend on why. I mean, if he's saying that he just didn't feel like it and he was just messing with a CD player and he just didn't care, 5 years, I guess. Do you have an opinion?
I mean, yeah. I like if you just, if you just wasn't paying attention or just like didn't care to whatever. But I don't think
It's
I'm not
certainly
even
not.
sure this is real.
Right. Yeah, that's my problem here.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
What an intro.
He can save the lost the way Jesus
No, that's
did.
a sick
There's
intro,
only a
right?
certain amount of
Sell
time
metal.
out. So use the law and use your testament. Reach out to the lost. Reach out to the lost.
What are you going to do about it?
There's nothing more important than your eternal salvation.
Agree to disagree there.
Right. What would Jesus do? Gotta love the...
What did Jesus
Oh, what did Jesus do? Yeah, I've never seen that before.
WDJD.
Mark 16:15. You know what's interesting that they quoted that? Do you know what's special about that verse?
Clearly not.
It's fake.
Really?
Yes, that was
Surprise.
added later. The last chapter of Mark, chapter 16, the last 9 verses were added later. And everybody knows that. It's in every single Bible. If you pull it out, I'll just pull up a random Mark 16:15. Let's see, Bible Gateway right here. Or actually, I just pull up Mark 16. Here, the earliest manuscripts and some other ancient witnesses do not have verses 9 to 20. That's a generous way of saying this is fake. This is added later. And these verses are the basis for faith healing and snake handling and poison drinking and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Poison drinking.
Yeah, you never heard of that?
No.
Pentecostals do that a lot. Evangelical, Kenneth Copeland, televangelist types of people. It's the basis. This section is the basis for their entire kind of modus operandi, if you will.
As soon as you said that, I started reading. It says they will speak in new tongues. They will
Speaking
pick up
in tongues, yep.
Yeah, they will pick up snakes with their hands, and when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all. They will place their hands on sick people and they will get well. So people will become Jesus.
So, yes, speaking in tongues came from these verses. Poison drinking, snake handling from these verses. And exorcisms also came from these verses.
Really?
Yep, right here it says, these signs will accompany those who believe in my name. They'll drive out demons. They'll speak in new tongues. Drive out demons is exorcism. Speaking in tongues. They'll pick up snakes with their hands. And when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them. Place their hands on sick people. They'll get well. Faith healing. Anyway, the point is right here. He said to them, go to the world and preach the gospel to all creation. These verses are all fake. That's the verse they cited here, 16:15.
Do you find it easy to love and worship God? When you think of how beautiful God is, how wonderful He is, and the love that He's expressed toward us in the cross, it's easy to worship God.
No, it sucks. There's so much stuff you have to do with it. You have to take time out of your day and go, in public places and preach, evangelize, spread the message. You have to go to church multiple times a week if you're Kirk Cameron or if you were Jehovah's Witness like me. There's so much stuff, so many rules attached to all of this. It is not easy, quote unquote, to be a Christian. It sucks. And it was easy. That's how it spread so quickly through the Middle East and the Roman Empire originally, was because it was easy. You just had to believe, basically. That's all of the other religions in the areas were like high investment. You had to believe in this stuff and you had to do all this extra stuff. And these people have altered it and warped it into something new that sucks up all of your time and energy and turns your personality into something brand new. It sucks.
It's as natural for a Christian to worship the Lord as it is for a flower to open in the light and the warmth of the sun.
Is that from you? First Kirk 3:15.
It's easy for me to say, I love you, Lord, but it's not as easy to demonstrate that love by obeying His commands. His commands to seek and save the lost. The reason Jesus came to this earth. The Bible says in Acts 1:8, but you shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses to me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and to the uttermost part of the earth. The reason we as a church exist here on earth is to be a witness for Jesus Christ. And he said, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
So that is from the book of Mark 16:15, as he cited, go into all the world, preach the gospel. That is a fake verse. However, that concept of preaching to people, evangelizing, that is also found in other parts. Like, I think that's in Matthew as well. Matthew, oh my God, I had it memorized when I was little. Matthew something or other.
I just realized that's the quote. There was this thing on TikTok a while back where Christians would go into the comments and copy paste some super long thing about how God is great and everyone needs to listen to God. And it'd be on a completely random video. And people would call them out for it and say, hey, this has nothing to do with religion. Please shut up for now. And they would quote that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so stupid.
Also, Matthew 24:14, that was the verse. It's drilled into my head. I can't believe I forgot it. Matthew 24:14. Gospel will be preached throughout the world before the end comes. Anyway.
And you know, Kirk, if that commission was just given to the first 11 disciples, then the gospel would have faded out when the disciples died. But that gospel was given to the whole church. We're all commanded as Christians to go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Again, that verse was not given to the church. It was added later.
But there's a problem, though. Let me tell you what it is. Bill Bright, in his book, The Coming Revival, said that only 2% of Christians in America share their faith regularly with others. Only 2%.
Yeah, they're trying to guilt you into it, right?
It seems that a vast majority of the body of Christ are either locked in worship and don't care about the cries of the ungodly or their fate, or they don't know what to say, and therefore they don't share their faith. But that's like that firefighter saying,
dude, where are they? Anyway, what is this?
Where did he get these statistics from? Like,
he made them up completely, I'm sure.
Listen, I know a lot of Christians, and I grew up around a lot of Christians, and I've met a lot of Christians now. They are very vocal and adamant. And it looks like he came from, I don't know, I'm going to say 1960, 1970.
Who's that?
This guy.
Oh, Ray Comfort?
Yeah, it looks like he's straight from 1970. But, like, I promise Christians have not gotten louder to that extent. Like, 2% to, I'm going to say 90%. 90% of Christians I meet are very vocal about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I was just looking through the transcript here. I was looking for the statistics, see if I can look them up, but we'll continue for the moment.
And therefore they don't share their faith. But that's like that firefighter saying, I just didn't know how to rescue those people. If he was a firefighter, he should have studied and learned how to climb a ladder and rescue people. And that's what we need to do as Christians.
Oswald J. Smith said, oh, my friends, we're loaded down with countless church activities, while the real work of the church, that of evangelizing and winning the lost, is almost entirely neglected.
Well, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to keep a church going, right? So, I mean, isn't that part of the deal?
Here's the point. If you're not sharing your faith, if you're not seeking the lost and obeying the scriptures to save them with fear, pulling them out of the fire, if you don't have enough concern for them to do that, then you are that firefighter.
That is wild, dude. So they said, how much time should you get? 5 years in prison? You are like the firefighter. You deserve to go to prison for not going out door knocking. That's what he just said. You deserve to go to prison for 5 years for not evangelizing.
And telling every single person you come across.
That is wild. Just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Patreon. If you're not going to donate, you don't have to, but follow me there at the very least. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. Just in case something happens with the government or whatever. It would be really good if you had some way to connect with me and my content. I'm really concerned about that. And maybe you should consider that for other creators too.
Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. And if we are merely drawing near to him with our lip service, but remaining far from him in our hearts, refusing to do those things he's told us to do, then he is not our Lord. And he will distance himself from us on the day of judgment. Despite our sacrifice of praise, we'll cry out to him, Lord, Lord, and he will say to us, depart from me, I never knew you.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm pretty sure that Kirk Cameron supports Donald Trump. And I'm pretty sure that Ray Comfort also supports Donald Trump. And if that is the case, as I'm very confident of, those are the people the Bible was talking about in that verse. They will say, Lord, Lord, and he will say, I don't know you. Because you didn't embody Jesus' morals or values or principles at all. The things that you did ruined people's lives.
Someone pointed out that the music in the background sounds like horror music. There it is.
Does. It does sound like horror music. Bizarre. Anyway, the point is that he isn't connecting the dots, that he's who the Bible is talking about. He is the scumbag who did all of these works, but they were empty. Because at the end of the day, the things that he believed in, the things that he said, the things he stood for, and the policies that he pushed for ruined people's lives intentionally and knowingly. He knew that would be the outcome, and he did it anyway. So, good luck.
Reminder that Jesus was not white. Mary was 14 and like knocking on people's doors. They would not have supported Jesus. They would not have supported Mary. They wouldn't have given Mary any help. They do not care. They only care when they can make up stuff and when something benefits them and when they have an excuse to spew hatred.
And as a matter of fact, that reminds me, there's a current protest going on right now by churches putting these things up. Due to ICE activity in our community, the Holy Family is in hiding.
I like that a lot.
This is like, instead of putting up a nativity scene for Christmas, this is what a lot of churches are putting up right now. And how does Kirk Cameron feel about that? I'm sure we can all guess, right?
I never knew you.
Anyway, the point is that he's a bad Christian. Both of them are, in the sense that they're not following the dictates or values of Christ. They're following the Old Testament hateful, vengeful, genocidal God. And I'm literally betting my life that this is all made up nonsense. But if there is a God on the other side, I would bet even further that they are not going to make it where they think they are.
And I think if there is a God on the other side, that God would be understanding and willing to accept anyone who actually cares.
Because that's a right thing. That's the good thing. And if God really is good and benevolent, that's who he would be.
It doesn't matter whether or not you believe in him, as long as you are a good person. These people are not good people.
No, they're evil.
Believing in him or saying that they believe in him makes no difference. They are objectively bad.
And I actually, just as a side note, I actually read Ray Comfort's book on Hitler because, you know, Christians for many years, since forever, have tried to make Hitler out to be an atheist and an evolutionist who hated Christians and did all of his bad stuff for atheistic reasons. It's nonsense. That's not true at all. Well, Ray Comfort, as it turns out, is one of those people who wrote a book on the subject. So I read it because I know a lot about this subject. And I know exactly where he got his sources. It was one single book. It's called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. And it's not a good book. It was written by a journalist, not by a historian, which is okay sometimes, but he got a ton of stuff wrong. He hyper-focused on gay people and kind of agreed with some of the principles and ideas of the Nazis or whatever. He lived there in Germany when it was all going down. So he's useful as an eyewitness, but not good as a source to, whatever. Anyway, this book was not that good, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. And Ray Comfort's entire book was based around that. It was almost like he didn't read anything else because he included conspiracy theories in his book that The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich also had. For example, the conspiracy theory that the Nazis actually lit the Reichstag fire, that was in there. And a bunch of, the conspiracy theory that Hitler killed his niece, that's not true. That did not happen. Anyway, it was just absurd. That's the point. Kind of unrelated. But Ray Comfort is just a ridiculous human being.
I haven't heard the niece one.
Yeah, Hitler dated his niece. They didn't grow up together or anything, but they were
So that's his sibling's kid still.
Yeah.
That's too close.
I believe it was the niece.
I can see 42nd cousin.
Half niece.
How do you have half brother? That makes sense.
And many historians believe it was a romantic one. I'm pretty confident that it was a romantic relationship. And they got in an argument one day, and he got in his car and drove off or whatever. And she was found dead by gunshot, later on that day, I believe. And Hitler, this is before he was famous. This is before he was anything at all. And he was like prime suspect #1 and investigated upside down, backward, and forward by the police. And they found no evidence of foul play. It was a suicide.
Oh.
So.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anyway, Rise and Fall of the Third Reich heavily implies that Hitler killed her. And that's just not true. That's not the consensus among historians. That was just nonsense. And that's where Ray Comfort gets his sources from, so.
We'll be right back. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com.
I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon.
I just created a new website, firesidewatch.com. You can watch videos with friends, and everybody can play or pause the video. I made it so I could collaborate with other YouTubers, but I figured I might as well make it available to everybody. On top of that, you can add videos to the queue, upvote them, and sort by most upvoted. Give it a look. Firesidewatch.com.
There is something wrong with MAGA influencers. Okay, I don't know what is going on with their heads, but listen to this, dude.
The cops should go to all you weirdo shut-ins who are on your computer so much. Donald Trump should make a massive sweep of all your guys' computers and just go through all your guys' pads. I actually know someone who works for Donald Trump directly, and I'm going to push this forward.
So he's saying he wants to take away your right to privacy. He wants to take away your Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights completely because he just doesn't like you, apparently.
So that he goes through all you people who don't have girlfriends, who don't have real friends, who play too many video games, and you're...
Hey, what's wrong with playing video games? Come on.
Guys, Dad, listen, don't turn around. You might not want to look behind you.
Yeah, I have my whole game collection back there. I don't know.
I mean, what games? What video games? He would never.
Yeah, it's a whole game collection. I have like a bunch of... I've had it for many, many years, and a lot of it was actually given to me by friends or whatever, and the value in most of that is in the display more than anything, but yeah. I'm a retro game collector.
Yeah.
I mean, God, look at my Christmas tree star. You can see the star is a Mario.
He made
star,
that himself, guys.
I did.
He
I 3D printed it. Yeah. Don't tell Nintendo. All right, let's continue.
And you're past like 16 years old. It's going to be an executive order where they all go through your computers, and you guys are all...
I turned 17 in 1 month.
You're safe. Wait, he said 16 or older.
He said older than 16.
Oh, you're in bad shape. Oh, no, you're okay then.
I have 1 month.
Okay.
I have 1 month to, like, get my stuff together.
Because you guys are all watching weird... You're not getting laid. You're a very frustrated man. Because this world is backwards as... Like, all these people are so up in the head.
This guy, of all people, saying this guy.
Why does his head tattoo give him, like, he has a hairline up there.
Yeah, what is...
He has, like, a lineup.
Yeah, what is that? I don't know what's on his head. Usually tattoos are meant to be like interpreted and appreciated, but this guy decided just giant blob would be good for a tattoo.
Hey, it's his hair. Leave him and his hair alone, okay?
He decided to do the Picard, I guess.
Just because his hair looks a little different than yours does not mean it's not just as beautiful.
Right.
We need to have Trump sign an executive order against public enemy #1.
Which is me and you, of course.
Right. So also in that same fashion, Kamala Harris, Biden, all of the Democrats, they should have signed an executive order against you, right? That's what you're saying. Because you were public enemy #1 back then. Or are you going to be hypocritical? Are you going to say, "Oh, no one should do that because I'm me and I'm great and I'm perfect and amazing, but you're against me, therefore you're wrong and evil."
You know, we have this like perception in society that things should be equal and fair, and if somebody does something to us, then they should expect it to be done to them as well. But MAGA has completely destroyed that, and Christian nationalists have also worked to destroy that perception completely, where they think it's okay to give special treatment to this group or that group, particularly to Christians. And this is another example. He doesn't believe that he's in danger of being searched or whatever by the Democrats, which he's correct about. He's not in danger of that, but he's going to push for it on the other side because he wants unfair, unequal treatment. He wants to persecute one group over another. This is the antithesis of democratic, fair, equal society.
Enemy number one. Public enemy number one in 2025 is these weird men who can't get a woman. Hey, get that out of here.
Holy Jesus Christ, dude. I did not know that was at the end of this video. I'm going to have to cut that out. In fact, now we know what kind of person this is. Did you hear that? That's insane.
I learned about that like in 2021. That was
That is
crazy.
wild. I watched through this video, but I guess I didn't reach the very end. MAGA influencers are disgusting, dude. This guy is a MAGA influencer. What is wrong with these people?
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
And do you remember this girl here?
She was the yeah.
During the food stamps thing, when food stamps were being withheld from people, she sat there and ate something on screen. I mean, there's more. There's a reason I'm coming back to this. Okay, because she released another video. I think that's her. Is that the same one?
Yeah.
That's the same girl, right? Is there a thing?
What happened to last month's water,
Yeah.
What'd you do with that?
Yeah. So anyway,
What happened to last month's air? What do you mean you can't breathe?
just a reminder here.
This message is for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money?
Literally ate it? Are you serious? People eat every month. Did she think they're putting it in savings or something?
What'd you do?
Disgusting human being, dude. This is MAGA influencers. This is the state of MAGA influencers.
For the record, I use food stamps. He doesn't get food stamps, but my mom does. She gets, I don't know, what is it, like 600 a month-ish?
I'm not actually sure anymore.
I
It
think
used to
it's-
be around there.
Yeah, I think it's about 600 a month. And she has 3 kids plus herself, plus, I mean, her boyfriend, gets his own food, but 3 kids plus herself.
Oh,
plus
I'm
her
pretty
boyfriend.
sure that he is included on her food stamps, and so is the kid, the
yeah.
3 of them. 600 for 3 people is not enough. Like, it's just not very much, honestly. It's not very much money. Although it could be worse, it's not enough. And she's complaining here about people getting food stamps. Disgusting.
I'm sure you can get by with 600, but like I said, there's no way you're feeding however many people and then having like enough left over to feed you into the next month as well. Like,
And-
she was expecting food stamps for 1 month to pay people or to feed people for stretched out 2 months when they didn't even know that they wouldn't have food the following month. So on top of trying to make $600 stretch out for 2 months, you're also expecting them to like have it saved without even knowing that they need to be saving it.
Also, saving doesn't really work that way with food stamp exactly. I mean, I think you can leave some food stamp money on the card, but it's just a debit card that you can only make purchases on certain select items with. That's all. So anyway, it used to be little pieces of paper like currency back in the day. And some people would like let you buy diapers with it or whatever. And they just like the store will give the food stamps to the government and then they will give the actual cash to the store or whatever, but not anymore. You cannot buy prepared food with.
Well, you can buy
food
soup.
stamps. You can't, let me rephrase. You can't buy hot food.
Yeah, you can't buy hot food or like full on meals, but you can buy like soup and stuff like that. And I think there could be a situation where sushi is on food stamps, but it's going to be sushi that costs maybe $4.
Yeah,
and people aren't getting $4 sushi for their entire meal for the entire month. They're not spending all of their food stamps on whatever.
Besides that, why do you care what people spend their food stamp money on? That's money that they have to survive, to live, to eat off of. And you buy lobster, you buy steak. I'm not here to scrutinize people's spending decisions. I'm here to make sure they have enough to eat for the month comfortably. And I'm not even going to entertain the conversation of they have too much or whatever. This is a program that needs to exist for the poorest among us. And if we want to talk about fraud or misuse or whatever, we should talk about all the tax breaks billionaires are getting. That's what I care about right now.
Okay, wait. Someone said if you can afford to eat out or eat fast food, you're not poor.
That is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, that's not. You can definitely eat out or eat fast food if you're poor.
Fast food is intentionally cheap because they want it to appeal to people who don't have much money. And the problem is eating fast food is the only option a lot of the time for impoverished people because they don't have time to actually prepare proper meals.
You won't be eating out every single day if you're poor, but like my mom's boyfriend, you know, he works at a fast food place, so they get fast food a lot. It's a pizza place, they get pizza a lot. When I lived with my family who was very, very poor and I was eating food from them rather than from him, we would go to McDonald's, and I mean, we're not going to get 7 Happy Meals for all of the kids, but we got like a basket of fries, 20-piece nuggets. So we had food. We had fast food. It's not, fast food is like $8 for an entire meal as opposed to $30 for an entire meal. So
fast food is inexpensive and fast, and a lot of people just don't have time to prepare proper meals is the point. But either way, you can't get that with food stamps anyway. Again, no prepared food, no hot food, things like that. But let's listen to this woman. I believe it's the same person, even further.
Controversial things I believe to make you feel a little less alone in the world. Abortion is murder, no matter what, no matter how the baby was conceived, it is murder. And IVF is one of the leading causes, if not the leading cause of abortion in America. So
IVF is what do you think IVF is? The leading cause of abortion? In vitro fertilization, where people can't have children, so they go through a medical procedure to artificially get pregnant? You think that's murder? How exactly? I don't understand. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. You think that's the leading cause of abortion? I understand that basically what they do. Do you know this process? IVF?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they take the cells, they mix them in a petri dish. For anyone who's unfamiliar, they end up with like 10 embryos that are or zygotes, I'm sorry. They end up with 10 zygotes that are literally just the joined cells, and they freeze them. And then they implant one into the mother when she's ready to have a kid. And when she's done having children, they discard the remaining zygotes or whatever. It's literally like one cell. Or a very, very tiny clump of cells. I think maybe they let it grow for like 3 days, which develops from a zygote to an embryo, literally invisible to the naked eye. And you think that's murder? Like, seriously, get a grip on reality. This is helping people who otherwise could not have children have children.
I also do not support IVF. And a lot of you probably didn't know that about IVF. So there you go. Look into it.
It's just made up nonsense. And also, did you catch that bit where she said it doesn't matter how it was conceived? She's saying there should be no exception for abortion. What is broken in your head? She is a vile human being.
Marriage was designed to be between a man and a woman, and actually I do not believe that any other type of marriage is considered marriage from a Christian perspective. I believe that...
Well, okay, great. I don't give a what you think from a Christian perspective. We live in a society with lots of different perspectives. We have to respect each other's different ideas and beliefs and feelings. You don't have to agree with me that getting gay married is okay, but you have no right to impose your religious beliefs on me. Is the problem here.
The thing is, from a Christian perspective, you can say whatever. I'm not Christian. I don't have a Christian perspective. Therefore, the Christian perspective does not matter to me.
It doesn't matter. The Christian perspective and all these other perspectives, they don't matter. They shouldn't matter to anybody else but you. Okay, look, if you don't want to get gay married, then don't get gay married. But me getting gay married is my business.
You got something to tell me?
I'm not gay, but I'm saying anybody else should be allowed to do this stuff.
You want this?
Because it doesn't affect you. No, you can keep that. Thank you. It doesn't affect others. It doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. You are literally trampling on other people's rights and trying to pretend to be a victim in the process. This infuriates me.
Perspective. I believe that vaccines cause way more harm than good in 2025. In a healthy marriage, the wife should submit to the husband. Also, the husband should love his wife and lay his life down for her.
My God, dude, just everything out of her mouth is psychotic.
Hang on. In 2025, vaccines do more harm than good, but like when she said in 2025, so like when did they not, in her opinion? Also, did she just say that a husband should love his wife is like a controversial claim. Yeah. Love your partner.
I think the idea was a wife should submit to her husband and do whatever he says. And then these people try to hedge the statement by trying to make it sound more reasonable. Like, oh, the husband has expectations too. I'm not just saying it's all on the wife.
Right.
When in reality, when do they actually focus in on what the husband's responsibilities are? Never. It's always about, it's always about the wife and what she is obligated to do and everything else. It's nonsense.
So the wife is expected to cook, clean, take care of children, and do literally everything, and take care of the husband. And the husband has to have a crush on his wife. Like, that's literally the basis for getting married to someone, is that you like them enough to get married to them.
If pushed on it, they will say the husband's responsibility is to, like, work.
Hey, someone offered to gay marry you.
Okay, no thank you. I appreciate the offer, though. I'm honored.
Boo.
I'm very popular among gay dudes, I've come to find. I get hit on all the time.
It's because you look young.
In comments and things like that, and it's always gay dudes. I don't know why. I'm like catnip to gay dudes, something. Anyway, the point is, that's definitely not a joke she would appreciate.
For her. This one might get me the most hate of all. I do not believe that modesty is a cut and dry, everybody has the exact same standard. I believe that there are some black and white things, but that much of it is an issue between you and the Lord. One woman might want to wear dresses down to her ankles. That's great. One woman might feel comfortable wearing shorts. That's fine. It is something.
Okay,
that was a wild example of someone who's not modest.
Wearing shorts?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I was thinking she was saying, oh, someone might want to go out in like a tiny little crop top and, I don't know, like booty shorts. But she's like, shorts down to your knees is fine in some situations, I guess. And she was just, I just like.
That's psychotic.
Yeah, like I was expecting so much more from her there. I don't know why, but I just was. She was off to such a strong start.
So he says she's insufferable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Patreon. If you're not going to donate, you don't have to, but follow me there at the very least. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. Just in case something happens with the government or whatever. It would be really good if you had some way to connect with me and my content. I'm really concerned about that. And maybe you should consider that for other creators too.
You have to lean onto the Lord for dependency and for clarity and wisdom. We don't do Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, are there any others? Easter Bunny.
Wow, you're terribly boring.
Almost all TV and movies are trash for children. Literally almost all of it. Almost everything the government tells us isn't real, no matter which side wins the election.
Oh boy.
That was a claim.
God, dude. She's got problems.
Go to the moon? No.
Did we go to the moon? She said no. Oh my God. This is like I should have a bingo card of all the craziest.
No matter which side wins the election. Did we go to the moon? No. Are they telling us the truth about Antarctica? No. Are aliens real? Yes.
Oh my God.
They're demons.
They're demons.
I've heard that theory. I love that theory. It's so funny to me.
This bit about Antarctica, do you know what this is?
No, I have no idea.
Flat Earth.
What does that mean? Oh, like the ice wall?
She thinks there's an ice wall.
That's where the ice wall is?
And that's why we're not allowed to visit Antarctica, yes.
Can we not visit Antarctica?
Yes, we can. Somebody went there recently with some, like 4 flat earthers. It's like $30,000 a person, but yes, you can go to Antarctica.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I've watched YouTubers go there for fun.
Yes, you can. It's expensive. There are hoops you got to jump through with governments and everything because it's controlled, because whatever. But yes, you can go to Antarctica. And like 4 flat earth YouTubers just had an all expenses paid trip to Antarctica to prove to them that there is a spot on the earth where you can stand and the sun never goes down. Like it's always visible.
Yeah, people live there.
That does not make sense with their flat earth model. And where if you stand in a location where the sun never sets, people don't live there. I think there are places in Alaska where the days are like 21, 22 hours long for the summer.
Yeah.
And like
that's
nights are 22 hours long for the winter. Mm-hmm. But Antarctica is literally 24-hour sun. And they were taken to that location. I remember this recently. Did you hear about it?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, they went there And the flat earthers verified for fact, yeah, guys, like, I don't know what, I don't know how this fits in with our understanding of the world, but the sun didn't go down. It did not set at all for the time we were there.
God, that's terrible. I could not fall asleep. I can't.
And hang on.
Sorry.
And everybody was like, oh, you're faking it. You had a green screen on. I could see the green patch on your shoulder was flickering and all that. It was so absurd, dude. Oh my God, these people.
I can't sleep with any sort of light at all, so that must be miserable. Can we talk more about the aliens are actually demons? I love that theory. Do you have any videos on that outside of this?
I do.
Yeah,
We'll hit that in a second.
It's such a funny theory to me. Yeah, let's finish this.
About Antarctica? No. Are aliens real? Yes, but they're demons. So, law of attraction is just a different form of witchcraft and is not biblical whatsoever.
That's true. Law of attraction is not biblical. It's nonsense. Do you know it?
No.
It's the idea that if you wish that things will come true, then they will come true.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
What am I missing? I'm sure there's something. Oh, we have the highest infertility rate in America that we've possibly ever seen. And it just so happens most of those women were on the birth control bill growing up.
Oh, give it a rest, bro. Really? God, it's disgusting. It would be funny if it weren't so disgusting, some of the things she's saying.
People who are on birth control aren't getting pregnant? Oh my God, what are they going to do?
Beyond that, she's saying that it's causing actual long-term infertility, which is a lie, a flat-out, bald-faced lie that's ruining people's lives. Disgusting.
I just think that was the dumbest thing ever. Like, they were on birth control for a reason, guys.
Bro, I'm not even sure which thing was the dumbest here. Like, is it that birth control is causing long-term infertility? Is it that we didn't land on the moon? Is it that the Earth is flat, or that aliens are demons? I can't. Which one?
I really like the idea that aliens are demons. That's my favorite one. It's so stupid and funny. I think the dumbest one here, I want to say it's that the Earth is flat, but unfortunately, a loud minority of people believe that. So I can't even say that that's the dumbest thing I've heard. Same with the moon thing. Like, I've heard that.
Well, let's see what else she's got here. It's almost over.
Ever seen. And it just so happens most of those women were on the birth control bill growing up. I'm sure that has no correlation, though, right?
Oh, that was the end of it. Okay. Anyway, yeah,
I'm gonna
psychotic.
say the birth control thing is the dumbest.
Complete scumbag, like really disgusting stuff for her to spread some of these lies. And the anti-vax thing, that was in there too. Just disgusting, dude.
Emily Sigmund, thank you for the $5. Remember that flat earthers thought Australia is fake, that Australians are paid actors. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also, just going to Australia would prove it, right? That the earth is round because the seasons are reversed. Yeah. And also, the stars are different. You can't look up and see the same stars. They don't have the Little Dipper or the Big Dipper in Australia.
They have the North Star?
No, they have this. Well, their own North Star, I suppose, right?
Wow.
Let me just Google that and verify.
Yeah, I got a video on my For You page the other day on TikTok, and it was this person talking about how it's finally summer, and they were like tanning, and it was just a ton of confused people in the comments until people were eventually like, "Oh, you're Australian, that makes sense."
Yeah, a Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and Polaris, the North Star, are not visible in Australia. They have their own set of constellations, and that's another reason why astrology doesn't make any sense.
They believe there's a big dome. Yeah, I know, it's stupid.
Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Absolutely absurd. This woman has problems. That's all I've got for you. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.